As you know, I have done many things on the Bible, as you can expect, having been a graduate of a theological seminary and worked as a pastor off and on here and there. So I have many Bibles, and I have many reasons for having the Bibles I have. But this time I have one I think is what I would call somewhat unique. You may say, well, how can they be unique when you already have so many? Well, the reason this is unique partly is I can show you right away if we look at the cover of this Bible, which is right here. What is that called? The Beyond Suffering Bible. And it says right underneath it, where struggles seemed endless, God's hope is infinite. Now, this is the NLT, New Living Translation Bible. But what's unique about it, not only is that an interesting translation, but what's unique about it, there's something added to this Bible by a woman. And this woman's life is what makes this Bible unique. As she was growing up, she was a person who was very vivacious in school. She was well liked. She was very smart. And she was even an athlete, would do all kinds of beautiful things like that. Well, when she was 14 years old, she went out to a lake to swim around because she loved to swim. And she wanted to go on this dock to dive off and dive down in the water and swim around. Well, she dove off the dock and it was too shallow a lake, and she snapped her neck and snapped her spine, and at that instant turned into a quadriplegic. She could not use her arms or legs. So, of course, she was immediately taken to a hospital and put in that special contraption that they do, and they would have to turn her on her back and turn her over, back and forth to work on her like that. And, of course, the first thing at night when she knew the lights were out and that she had to deal with this pain and suffering and all that was going on, she said, first thing I want to do is die. I don't want to live. I can't live like this, and I won't live like this. Well, she continued that way for quite a while, and actually what happened when she finally got in a wheelchair and got out of there, she saw this part of this outside of the special care unit where there was a place like this of granite. She said, you know what, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to move it as fast as I can and get it to hit that thing so it falls over backwards and I can finally die. So that was her whole objective at that point. Being a quadriplegic, turning from a wonderful high school student and a wonderful athlete into someone that could do nothing with either arms or legs. It was hard to breathe. She was in constant pain. And this is where her life turned into something she could never imagine possible. Well, what's unique about her is that she heard from a young man who was one of her roommates in high school who came to her during this difficult time, and he said, you know what I want to do? She said, what? He said, I want to help you. She said, nobody can help me. What are you talking about? He said, no, I'm not going to help you. God is going to help you. God is the one who knows us better than we do. He's in charge of all that happens, no matter what it is. And I'm going to work with you to get you help, not from me, but from God and from Jesus. So at that point, things began to take a change, and she did work with him. And the result is that she began several things that people would have thought impossible. One of them was that she learned to paint and draw with a brush in her mouth, just moving her head. And she did that with some very beautiful drawings, very wonderful drawings. And then she learned to sing, and she would sing so people could hear the songs that she was doing. So we will continue now about this particular Bible that is an offshoot of what happened to her momentarily.